Hello and welcome to Women in Retail Talks. I'm Ashley Chiradio, Senior Content Strategist at the Women in Retail Leadership Circle, and today I'm joined by Tamar Rosenthal, co-founder of Recurrent, a business helping the next generation establish better hygiene routines via safe, effective, eco-conscious hair and body products made specifically for their young adult bodies, delivered straight to their doors. Today we're going to be talking about how Tamar and her co-founder Nava came up with the idea for Recurrent, how the brand involves teens in the day-to-day business, and much more. So Tamar, thanks for joining me today.
It's my pleasure. Nice to meet you.
So I thought we could start by you telling us a little bit about your journey in launching Recurrent and a little bit about the business.
With pleasure. So I think the best way to jump into this is by telling you a little story. After an evening of just hanging out with my 16-year-old son, he leaned in and he whispered to me, "Hey, Mom, I need deodorant." And I leaned back in and said, "Sam, why are you whispering?" This was the exact moment of inspiration for Recurrent. I mean, why was my son so embarrassed about a fairly basic hygiene need? And moreover, what would I recommend or buy for him that met my criteria of safe ingredients and his criteria of efficacy, that it actually worked, and something that he would be cool with? So I did a lot of research and I found next to nothing, and I decided to tap Nava on the shoulder to launch this company. Together, we formed Recurrent, which, like you summarized so perfectly, is helping the next generation establish better hygiene routines by offering safe, effective, eco-conscious skin and hair products made specifically for their teen bodies, delivered straight to their doors. Along with the products, Recurrent is a haven for health and hygiene education too.
Great. So Recurrent involves teens in the day-to-day business. Can you share more about that and how that works?
Yeah, so it's actually quite innovative. It was really important to Nava and I to create a company for young adults by young adults. We are doing this in so many different ways, but what we are currently doing is we're running an ambassador program to allow feedback from teens to inform decisions about the product line and educational resources provided. And the program is ongoing so that we can ensure we're continuing to really meet the needs and requirement of teens on every level. We also have high school students managing research and outreach. Our blog is curated, researched, and written by college students. Recent grad is also running our social media accounts. So teens are really an integral part of running the company every day. It's been really exciting to tap into their creativity and innovation as we fill this gap in the market for their demographic, by their demographic. Then there's also this nonprofit piece that Recurrent was formed with. We created a partnership with Hope and Comfort to combat hygiene insecurity, because hygiene insecurity is, well, let me explain. Hygiene insecurity is the inability to regularly access and or afford basic hygiene products for everyday use, such as soap, shampoo, deodorants, toothpaste, toothbrushes. And we wanted teens to be able to do their part to address the hygiene insecurity among their own peer group. And they could do just that when they're using Recurrent, because there are ways for them to get involved with both Hope and Comfort. But then also, for every 10 boxes of Recurrent we sell, we donate a box to someone in need.
I love that. That's such a great aspect of the business.
Thank you.
How does education play a role in the business? I think that's really unique to your business.
Yes, it's also another way that Recurrent is changing the game when it comes to catering towards teens and their hygiene needs. Education is key. So we're all about educating teens about why they need specially formulated products for them, about when they need to start using hygiene products, teaching teens about why things are changing in their bodies, and making all these conversations normalized is how we're going to give our kids security and make them feel good about themselves when they know that they can talk about, that this is all normal, these changes that are happening, and we educate them on that. It will make the relationship and their confidence much more secure. So I think in general, hygiene issues can be so embarrassing for teens because they can be so embarrassing for anyone who has self-awareness of how they smell or look and how that can impact how people see or treat them. It's embarrassing for adults too. But the major difference is that we adults have the knowledge and understanding of why this stuff is happening, and what can be done about it to make it better. Teens, on the other hand, are left to face these awkward situations defenseless with no clue why it's happening to them and no ideas how to resolve it. And that's exactly where education plays a big role with Recurrent, because we are teaching teens in creative, fun, embracing ways about the why so they can work on the how. I think another part of education to us is learning from teens, not us only educating teens, but us learning from them and following their lead when it comes to their comfort in caring for themselves.
So there's been a major shift in customer shopping behavior and retail. How has Recurrent had to pivot?
Okay, so we launched Recurrent during COVID-19, and although
Oh,
we're
wow.
I know. Yes. Yes. I mean, it's been a couple years in the making in terms of formulation and strategizing and brand positioning, but our actual launch into e-commerce was during the pandemic. So we had all these big plans to spread the word about Recurrent through in-person experiences and opportunities, all which had to be significantly postponed due to the pandemic. So we're also finding that although young adults historically have loved being online, during this time period of isolation and having school on Zoom, they're really getting device burnout. So we've had to think really creatively about how to reach them when the in-person connections as well as online exposure could be potentially limited. So that's been fun. But we've gone much deeper in working with teens online and creating online partnerships to help spread the brand awareness.
That's great. So being a leader in 2020 is tough. Can you talk about any strategies you've used to lead your team and to keep them motivated?
Of course. So it has been tough, but it's also personally been a blessing for me because being able to focus on good, exciting contributions have been a lifesaver. I think that a really great way to think about this time in 2020 is that you have to roll with the punches and live in the moment. And that's really a great strategy to get by and lead with. Um, because it allows you to take some deep breaths when new unexpected situations come your way, and it makes you think strategically and be able to pivot, combined with living in the moment and your own reality, right? Everyone, all business leaders are balancing home and work life basically underneath the same roof. So being able to make priorities about what needs to happen at that particular time is going to help you lead more respectfully. I also, always tease that it's best to have no stress if you can. There is a no stress motto at Recurrent because after all, they really could cause breakouts. But of course, we do supply products that could fix that.
I wanted to end on what advice do you have for businesses, especially small businesses, trying to target Gen Z?
So Gen Z they're fabulous. They're more educated, they're smarter, they're in tune, they want to make a difference, they know what they want. Me personally, it would be to listen and learn from them and hear what they want. Don't tell them what they want, understand what they want. And that's a great premise to start a business because you're already one step ahead because you're catering to what they actually want.
Well, Tamar, thank you so much for joining me on this episode of Women in Retail Talks.
It was my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for listening. For more information on this podcast, please check out our podcast channel page at womeninretail.com for show notes. Women in Retail Talks is available on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher, and Spotify. Make sure to subscribe on our podcast channel page as well. If you've enjoyed this episode, please take a few moments to rate and review this podcast. Thanks, and until next time, this has been Women in Retail Talks.